We've made it to the last section of this unit. Congratulations. Now we're going to look at costing. Before you sell a product, you need to set a price. Before you set the price, you need to know what it costs you. So we're going to look at costing formulas. On this one, it says to cost out the following formula. For the price of ingredients, use the figures taken from the sample prices. If you look on the second page of your handout, on the bottom half, there are some sample prices that we'll use for this activity. All right, our formula is for scones. It yields 6 pounds, 8 ounces. Our ingredients are listed on the left column. Next to it are the amounts. Notice there's some variances. Some are in pounds, some are in ounces, some have a little of each. Step 1, always convert it to a common lowest unit. We're sticking with ounces. 1 pound, 8 ounces of bread flour is equal to 16 ounces plus 8 ounces, or 24 ounces of flour. Complete the remaining lines on this column and determine how many ounces of each ingredient you have. Now it's time to figure out how much that bread flour is costing us. When we look on our chart, we see the price we see the price of bread flour is 25 cents per pound. So it's 25 cents per 16 ounces of flour, which equals to 0.016. Why do we take that out so far? Well, look at the top of the page where I've written. If we were to multiply 24 times 0.016, the total cost of that ingredient is 38 cents. If we round it to 0.02 cents times 24, the cost becomes 48 cents. That's a 10-cent difference, which may not seem much, but could start to add up. So when we're costing, we want to keep an eye on those numbers. In some cases, we are around, and some we won't. Basically, you want to err on the side of making it too expensive on paper. If the actual cost is slightly less than you've calculated, there won't be any big surprises. You'll more than pay for your ingredients when you sell that product. If you make the mistake the other way and you underestimate what it's costing you, you'll end up losing money. You're not going to make as much money as you think you are when you sell the product, and over time, that could have a significant impact. I'm sure you're disappointed, but I didn't want to give you all the answers for this one because I haven't given you a lot of problems to work through. So rather than work through and come up with all of the costs, I just plugged in some imaginary numbers. So these numbers are not accurate. Do not use them. This is to understand the process. It is not giving you the answer. All right, now that we have each individual price for your ingredients, you have to figure out how much the item costs you now. So you're going to add up that column of the total cost per ounce. And this adds up to $3.76 per ounce. The next line asks us to determine the quantity produced. Well, that's given to us in the yield, 6 pounds, 8 ounces. Change that to ounces, and our quantity produced is 104 ounces. So now we have the numbers we need to calculate the cost per ounce. We're going to divide the total cost by the quantity produced. It's on the left side there with the red arrow pointing to it. So that's $3.76 divided by 104 ounces equals 0.04 cents per ounce. I rounded this one. I rounded it up. Like I said before, we would rather overestimate the cost than underestimate. So now that we know that it's 4 cents an ounce, we can multiply that by 16 to get our cost per pound. And our cost per pound is 64 cents. So each scone costs us 64 cents to make. That information is what you need to determine how to set the price. Setting the price is a lesson we'll get to later. Right now, we're going to concentrate on determining our costs. Let's look at the same formula, but we'll work with grams now instead of ounces and pounds. Once again, we don't have to change the denomination here. It's all grams. Our yield is in grams, our quantities are in grams, so we're good to go. Just copy over the total grams in that first column. The little challenge here will be in the price. Bread flour is 55 cents per kilogram. So we need to figure out what the cost is in grams. So you're going to divide 0.55 by 1,000, and that equals 0.00055, which doesn't seem like it costs very much, but remember, a gram is very small. So when you multiply 0.00055 by 600 grams, the cost of the flour is 33 cents. Once again, we're going to use imaginary numbers to finish this page. So I'm plugging in some big numbers because it's easier to see the first time with bigger numbers. So total up those red numbers, and that'll give you the total cost of these imaginary scones of $12.65. Our quantity produced is 2,634 grams. Just like before, we're going to divide the total cost by the quantity produced to get 0.0048 cents per gram as our cost. However, it's asking us what is the cost per kilogram. So we're going to move our decimal to the right 3 places, and now we know that it costs $4.80 per kilogram to make these imaginary scones. Work through the rest of the lines on here and see what you end up with as the actual cost.